Welcome to Mind Prosperity, and thank you for tuning in. So in Mind Prosperity, we believe that where your mind goes, where your thinking goes, your life follows. Now, the mind has an influence on the brain. The way you think also has an influence on how neurotransmitters are released in your brain. So we're going to look today at the different, not all neurotransmitters, we're going to look at three, the difference between the three. And this is also a build up for a series we're going to do on dopamine. So we're going to do a series on dopamine and what role it plays in things like addiction, for instance, and why do we repeat certain behaviors. And the reason why we repeat certain behaviors is because of the pleasure it gives us. And the reason it gives us pleasure is because of these neurotransmitters that are released in the brain. So like I said, we're going to do a little bit of a series focusing on dopamine. But I do think it's important that we understand these three neurotransmitters and the difference between them and the role that they are playing. So the first one we're going to look at is serotonin. So serotonin has to do, and they call it the happy hormone because it has a lot to do with your feelings, with mood regulations. When your serotonin levels are high, you normally feel happy, you normally feel relaxed, you feel satisfied, your sleep is better. When your serotonin levels are low, you do not feel great, you feel depressed, you feel anxious, and your sleep isn't great. So let's look at the main characteristics of serotonin. Regulates mood and emotional stability. Now, also this thing is like we don't want to get to a place where serotonin is suddenly high and then serotonin is suddenly low, because this will cause us to get to a place where you feel very happy at one stage and very bad at a different stage. And again, like the exercises we do, the food we eat can have an influence on these levels. It promotes relaxation and a sense of well-being. So if you have a good, healthy serotonin release, you feel relaxed, you feel a sense of well-being. Influences sleep patterns and appetite. Sleep is an extremely important thing for your brain, for your body, to feel recovered, to feel good, and for you to be ready for the life that you need to live. And this is also why serotonin is important. It contributes to mental health, and it reduces anxiety because serotonin has to do with your emotional regulations, with your mood. Like I said earlier, when serotonin is high, you feel good, you feel happy. When serotonin is low, you feel depressed. So this is also why it plays a big role in your mood. And then oxytocin. Oxytocin is what they call the love hormone or the bonding hormone. Oxytocin is what is released when we feel in love, when we feel close to another human being, when we bond with other people. And the characteristics of oxytocin is fostering social bonding and trust, supports emotional connection and attachment. So a person with a healthy serotonin release has good attachment to other people, reduces stress and promotes a sense of security, and it kind of allows you to feel secure and trust with other people. This doesn't mean like it's a healthy thing to trust everybody, but it's also not a healthy thing to get to a place where you're like, I don't trust anybody and I want to be close to anybody. Everybody is a liar. That's not a good thing. It plays a role in reproductive behaviors such as childbirth and breastfeeding. Why? Because you have to bond with your wife, you have to bond with your husband, you want to bond with your child. So oxytocin is the bonding hormone or the love hormone. The next one is dopamine. Dopamine is the one that we're going to focus on in the series that we are going to do. So what is dopamine? Why is it so important? And why does it play such a big role in things like addiction? Before I get to dopamine, I want to ask you to hit the subscribe button. We are trusting to get to 1,000 subscribers, and your subscription will help us to get there. Also push the thumbs up and like this video. Leave a comment if you want to. If you have any questions or statements that you want to make, you are welcome to do so. So dopamine is released in a part of the brain called the nucleus accumbens that has to do with reward. So if dopamine is released to the nucleus accumbens through the ventral tegmental area, in the next video we're going to give you some images and more info on that. A person feels rewarded. So if you do something and you feel reward, that means dopamine goes to the nucleus accumbens and you feel good, and this is why you will repeat the behavior. If you get punished for something, dopamine will be low and you will not repeat the behavior. This is why some substances, because it releases so much dopamine, a person feels extremely good and you get addicted to that substances. So dopamine plays a big role in reward. So the characteristics of dopamine drives reward and pleasure systems in the brain, motivates goal-directed behavior and pursuit of reward. So dopamine is that part that gets you motivated to do things, to accomplish your goals. Also plays a part in your motor activities like movement, enhances focus and intention related rewarding tasks. So if you do something that you love, so say for instance, I love research, I love reading, I can get extremely focused in it. Dopamine helps you to focus, but it doesn't just help you to focus, it also helps you to relax, but not relaxed in the sense of like you're watching a movie or so, but that focus kind of gets you to that place where you are so focused at the task at hand, and they call it flow. So dopamine also helps you to get in flow, where you can really be focused on a certain task, but not like a stressful focus, like kind of like a relaxed kind of concentrating focus. And it also has to do with coordination and movement. So those are the differences and the roles of serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine. So serotonin is your happy hormone that has to do with mood. Oxytocin is your bonding hormone that has to do with love. And dopamine has to do with pleasure, reward, focus, and concentration. So like I said, in the next video, we're going to do a little bit of what dopamine is and how it works in the brain. Hope to see you guys there, and thank you for watching this video. See you soon again. Goodbye.